Anime throws the word genius around like a shuriken. Prodigies, masterminds, and mad scientists. But who actually qualifies, and why do some geniuses crumble the second the rules change? Today, we're building a workable definition of genius in anime with the biggest names from Light and L to Sanku, Aizen, Bulma, Lelouch, Shikamaru, Erwin, Gojo, Meruem, and much more. Genius does not equal raw power. Genius equals how you turn information into advantage. In anime, genius is less about test scores and more about advantage creation. It's the speed and accuracy of turning information into decisions, the range of tools you can invent or repurpose, and your resilience when the game changes. I use 6 axes. 1. Learning rate, how quickly you absorb and transfer skills. 2. System visions, which is seeing the whole board, tactics, strategies, and logistics. 3. Innovation and creation, making a new technique, tech, or frameworks. 4. Execution under pressure, keeping clarity when the stakes spike. 5. Social intelligence, reading, persuading, and coordinating people. And 6. Ethical, moral calculus, how your values constrain or empower your choices. Different shows weight the axis differently. Death Note worship deduction, Dr. Stone innovation, Haikyuu execution and learning rate, and Naruto mixes all of the 6. And these are the 6 archetypes of anime genius. A. Prodigy, starts on third base. Examples: Itachi, Killua, Kageyama, and Gohan. Strength, learning rate plus deduction. Cost, over resilience on talent, burnout, or stagnation. In case scenario, Itachi reads opponents and environments instantly, learning rate, system vision. But the ethical calculus of protecting the village defines his tragedy more than any fight. B. You have the master strategist, tactician, who wins before the battle. Examples: Lelouch, L, Light, Nier, Shikamaru, Armin, and Eren, and Crollo. Their strength, system visions, and anticipatory play, deception. Cost, emotional, ethical, blowback, heavy reliance on perfect info. Example: Lelouch weaponizes social intelligence and system vision, controlling narrative, not just moves. Same as Erwin, channels strategic clarity into morale, making other people his force multiplier. Then you have the inventor/scientist, new tools equal new rules. Senku, Bulma, Dr. Jiro, Yuhara, and Mayuri. Their strength, innovation, reframing constraints, and logistics. The cost, ethical calculus, or over-reliance on prep. Example: Senku turns knowledge into civilization, but he changes the game board so fighters become extensions of his tech tree. Then you have the combat savant, instinct as an algorithm. People like Levi, Gojo, Ichigo, Guts, Naruto, if you want to put him in here. Real-time pattern recognition, execution under pressure, limited horizon planning, and can be neutralized by information warfare. Levi's genius isn't just raw stats. It's the micro-decision speed in 3-dimensional chaos. Gojo has theoretical mastery of cursed energy, and his genius is both mechanical and conceptual. Then you have the social manipulation genius. People are the pieces. Aizen, Makima, Reagan, and yes, the con artist genius Orochimaru. He really embodies this. They have narrative control, recruitment, and misdirection. Isolation, hubris. Collapses if persona cracks. Aizen wins long before he unsheathes Kyoka Sugitsu. His genius is in the fact that he can craft a reality competitors have to accept as truth. Then the manufactured genius. Work makes you dangerous. Rock Lee, Deku, Tanjiro, Hinata, and let's even add Naruto in this too. He's all over the place. Compounding practice, stable execution, and resilience. The cost, stealing risk, needs time and mentors. Let's look at Deku for once. Deku's notebooks are meta genius. He converts observation into portable tactics, then iterates. Hinata from Haikyuu transforms limited height into a weapon via timing and spatial reading. Then we have case studies of geniuses going at it. And Death Note, it's strictly that. Light equal rapid hypothesis testing plus ruthless moral calculus. L, who focuses on mostly probability reasoning and unpredictability, and he refuses to look at easy patterns. And their fight is really about control versus chaos. In this story, the genius here is who updates the fastest with less bias. In Hunter x Hunter, it's all about adaptive systems. Meruem starts off as a brute king but accelerates via games with Komugi, and his learning rate becomes terrifying. Crollo, he is a system hacker, designs theaters where his ability set is optimal. Just look at the fight between him and Hisoka. He only fights on his time. Everything is laid out correctly for him, and he can adapt and change the whole situation, control the fight, not just by strength, by tactics, and force fighters into his own world. That's really how he wins. Kurapika is a specialization type of genius, trades broad growth for surgical supremacy. Just look at his Emperor Time. If you know what it does, it's a very broken ability. However, it has insane drawback, but he's willing to do what he has to do in order to win. In Hunter x Hunter, Nen rewards rule luring. Genius equals how well you can rewrite or stack rules. In One Piece, genius is a division of labor. Luffy has combat intuition plus social intelligence, recruiting the exact experts he lacks. Nami, navigation genius. Robin, historical linguistic genius. Usopp and Frankie, engineering and innovative. And Oda frames genius as a crew composition. No single genius wins on the grand line. In Naruto, there are many paths to genius. Itachi, Kakashi, Shikamaru map neatly what it means to be a prodigy, an innovator, and a strategist. Minato is a process genius, space-time logistics, tag networks, sealing systems. Orochimaru is a sad scientist archetype which sacrifices ethics for discovery. Rock Lee proves that the label is loose. Effort can stimulate talent given the right pedigree. Naruto intentionally broadens the word genius, and that's why I love Kishimoto. Anything meaningful, and nothing just means one thing. In Bleach, Uara is the human innovator, Mayuri, a more experimentalist, and Aizen, the social myth maker, with long horizon planning. 3 distinct acts creations, ethics, and narrative controls that collide. In Dr. Stone, Senku uses scientific method as shonen power system. His battles are supply chains, not sword fights. The show literalizes our definition. Advantage equal knowledge plus tooling plus leverage. In Attack on Titan, leadership equals genius. Erwin, vision plus persuasion under impossible odds. Armin and his creative interference. Levi with execution. Genius is distributed across roles. A society survives combining types, especially when the leaders have different roles to play. So when fans argue genius versus genius, they often mix categories. Here's the separation logic. Near-term tacticians like Shikamaru versus long-term con architects like Aizen and Lelouch. Then you have rule sensitivity, who are people who can operate when the rules change. Light and Senku thrive when information control breaks. Then you have constraint choice, which Kurapika chooses narrow dominance. Luffy chooses team-based breadth. Ern's utilitarian calculus unlocks bold moves. Deku's ethics limit collateral but build trust capital long-term. And then you have people versus objectives. Bulma, Senku change tools, while Lelouch and Aizen change people. And then you have the people who are overpowered as hell. Levi and Gojo get clearer as pressure arises, and many prodigies do in fact get worse. On a quick rubric, this is how we should better scale these geniuses. On a scale from 0 to 10, learning rate, system visions, innovation, pressure execution, social IQ, ethics constraints. And if you do it like this, you will see that genius is a very broad spectrum and nobody is a declared winner. And this just goes back to everything. Anime just loves to build the genius. So here's what I'll say in ending. Across series, the winners aren't the biggest brains. They're the ones who combine types or build teams to cover blind spots. In anime, the highest form of genius is coordination. So the next time a character gets called a genius, ask the question, which axis are they maxing? Genius does not equal smartest alone. Genius equals advantage plus longevity.